In the words of King Kang, baby, if you think you're going to get an apology from me, baby, you better dig a grave and hop in it. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Cube. I'm back in the building with another video. Before I start, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell. And make sure you follow me on Instagram and all my other social media sites at Quentin T. Harris. Again, make sure you guys follow me on all of my social media sites at Quentin T. Harris. Oh my goodness, before we jump into tonight's episode of season 2, episode 2 for Chasing Dallas, I gotta back it up. And we gotta talk a little bit about last week just to kind of clear some air and, kind of get some things out there, because a lot happened last week and there's a lot to unpack tonight. This video might be a little bit lengthy because, I'm on probably like glass of wine number 2 of watching the show. And, it's just some stuff that we got to clear up. But I'm going to try to talk fast so y'all keep up, okay? Go get you a glass of wine. All right, so, I know a lot of people last week were expecting me to, come after Markel about his little shade that he had towards me. Okay, so just to clear it up and let everybody know, he did reach out and he did apologize to the boy, to your boy. But I did want to say, I kept it really cute because I like to tell both sides. I kept it really cute, when I did my review last week. But I don't know, when I woke up the next morning, something hit my spirit and I decided to just, because I seen Chasing Atlanta put up and Chasing Reality, they know what they be doing too. So they put up a reclip of it, whatever. So the people's gonna chime in. I would say about 95% of y'all was on my side. So do my little Candy Birds clap. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all because y'all was like, listen, don't come for Q. We feel like it was unnecessary. Now, we was on the same platform and we were shading each other. That's cool. That's different. But like I said, half of y'all was on my side. So I appreciate that. However, I woke up the next morning, Chasing Atlanta put what they put up on social media. So I went and commented and let it be known if I do return to Chasing Atlanta this season or not. I want it to be known and let it be known to the girls that your boy is not playing with nobody and nobody's getting no passes this season if I was to return to Chasing Atlanta. But anywho, so I said what I said. Markel responded. We had a little bit of back and forth exchange on social media. I put it on Facebook as well because I know how y'all people in the comments. I ain't want y'all to think I was no punk and be like, Q ain't respond. It ain't got nothing to do with that for me. But, I responded. I said what I said. Y'all know if you saw it, y'all know I took some digs back and I told him his book was on Amazon for $1.99. And I kind of, it was a little read session going on back and forth. And so his thing was he didn't think that, he went in that hard or, what I'm saying, like the whole, it was fun shade and it was fun shade. But my thing is, like I told him on the phone, sometimes you have to know a person or have a relationship with a person before we can throw fun shade, and we have to have a mutual respect and understanding for each other. You know what I'm saying? That's just like when my first season, when I came in, I was like, and I still stand by that to this day. If we're just meeting, you're not going to walk up and be like, bitch, what's up, bitch? Or what's up, Miss Thang? What's up, girl? And I'm just like, hold on, we don't know each other. We don't have that mutual respect. Now, I am a gay African-American male, so I don't mind ooh-la-la and carrying on with the lingo when it's time and when it's necessary. And I feel like it's time and place for everything. So me coming in into my first season, establishing my brand, I know I did not want to be called, so just the whole label thing and, all of that stuff like that. But back to what I was saying, you have to know who to throw fun shade with. Like, we have to have that mutual respect and understanding because you think it's fun shade, and I'm taking it as disrespect because it's like discrediting what a person has worked hard to do, or because you're intimidated. Instead of a person saying, you know what, let me learn from a person. We as a community, sometimes we'd rather shade the girls when we need to be learning from the girls. Okay, so Markel, we talked. We had our exchange. We on a good page. We never was on a bad page. I just kind of had to let the record. I had to clear all air. I don't want Q having no confusion air with nobody this season or whatever in real life. And that was another thing, it was, and shout out to the person that I heard who it came from, which is weird to me. One of the people, it wasn't even Markel who had the tea or discovered the tea or whatever like that. He actually got it from a vlogger. And the vlogger, which is crazy because I felt like, and vloggers do what they're supposed to do to keep up noise, keep up mess. That's, that's kind of their job. So I understand that. But then at the same time, I do expect, like, when you see people out or if we have a social media exchange, I just want you to kind of, be like, or, if you threw some shade, be like, ooh, just don't even respond to me if I reach out or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But it's not a big deal. What happened. But like I said, they was talking about it's 2 to 3 pages in the book. It was a quote book. It was an affirmation book. So like I said, like last week, it was a quote book. So I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, Markel apologized. I thank you for that. Do you guys feel like something public needs to be happen, like maybe a public apology? Because it aired again on tonight's episode. Oh, and I was going to bring a book to do a little promo here on the show, but ever since last week's episode, I just sold all out of books. So for those of you who buying it to see if it's 2 or 3 pages, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I threw a little shade last week in my little read, and I was just like, I think I made a pretty good amount of coin for this little book, all right? But we gonna get off the book subject and we gonna get on the show. Oh, all right. Ooh, I sound like Reese G when I did that. All right, so yeah, just to clear all that up. But again, we good. It ain't no carrying on, no back and forth, all that good. We good. He threw a little shade. I clears it, and then we good. Nah, but shout out to them for that, and thank you again, Chasing Dallas, because I have some orders come through. One thing I did learn from Gardini Honey: good publicity, all publicity is still publicity. Chasing Dallas season 2, episode 2, honey. Y'all are coming through. Oh, wait. I gotta do my Candy Birds clap. Y'all coming through with the episodes. Chasing Dallas, y'all are coming through with the episodes. I'm already 7 minutes in. I'm so if I'm gonna be talking fast, which I know I am, don't want to make this video too long. I want to kind of hit it and quit it, and then we gonna whatever. So is it me, or do y'all not like the new Chasing Dallas, the new Chasing reality theme song? Like, I kind of feel like it's power. Like when the show came on, it was like, life is truly what you make it. I was just like, why is it so slow? It didn't give me the upbeat that I needed to get the show started. I was just like, why is it slow, and why didn't I catch this last week? So Chasing reality, we want the old song back. All right, we want to be picked up when we coming into the scene. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. So Reese may probably not. I'm just okay. She might be a little mad with me this week, but I'm just reviewing the show. I don't want to start no mess. I just pinpoint out what I see. We here on my channel, we drop down in the comments, we talk about it, we discuss it, and we move on. Reese comes in. Okay, wait a minute. Before we get to, let me take a sip of water because I'm already dry throat after that last little situation. I had to clear up. Yes, I'm drinking out of a gallon, girls. I'm out here in LA. It's filming going on. I need water. So before y'all try it, yes, I'm drinking out this jug, niece. Throat lubricated. Now let's read. No, I'm kidding. I don't know where this rock situation came from, but the scene looks, Reese, don't get on my head, and I can't just say Reese, so I'm going to say production, but for the first part, a little bit of Reese, because you know you are the only executive producer that we know. This whole rock, character, is he B cast? Do y'all have multiple casts? Like, is he like a friend of the show? We got no introduction. We got, we didn't get like a backstory of who he was until later down, but by that time we were confused. And I think it's because we try to come in so heavy with the shade and with the reads and all that stuff that we, the viewers, sometimes get thrown off. And I never really paid attention to it with Chasing Atlanta because I really did not, and honestly, did not watch the show back like that just because of me. But now that I'm actually reviewing the show, I'm not there when you guys film. We don't know any of those things. So when the show starts, it's just so much shade and so much stuff happening that we, the viewers, are lost. A lot of times, Chasing Reality brand, we leave things off the show that the fans and the viewers don't get to see. So I really want the brand and the franchise to really work on that. Like, if they shading each other off camera, we need to find some type of footage, some type of lives, some type of receipts to pinpoint and pin out why people are fussing, why people are arguing. Because in the beginning, as soon as the show came on, I was lost because I remember where the show ended, but then we end up at a beach, and this is called Houston Splash. I get that. Y'all trying to show a little bit of scenery, but what we have to remember, I guess because I'm an OG at it now, I just kind of know, where to pick scenes and stuff. Y'all went to a beach. It was too many people out there. We could barely hear. It's too much noise. The lighting make y'all look blacker than what y'all are. I guess me, because production, y'all brung it so hard the first episode that y'all can't afford to mess up because you set the standard and you set the bar so high. Y'all let me know if I'm rambling and y'all don't like what I'm saying. If y'all feel like I just need to stick to point by point, but if you rocking with me, y'all let me know, because these are just things me as a viewer I'm looking at. The whole scene with Rock looked so confusing. It looked rushed. It didn't look thought out. I don't think that was a good opener for the show. It just had me lost, like I had to play catch up. And then Reese comes into his scene and into the green screen, and he's reading so much and he's shading so much that I don't know what's going on. I don't even know who Rock is. There was no backstory. Just something looked off about that scene. I don't know if this character, Rock, was just there to kind of throw shade at Markel or be a B cast member. Then we have to set that up. Just how Housewives this week had it where the cookie lady. We all know why the cookie lady is on the show. We don't know why Rock is on the show. We got people on the show who are actually, I think, talent and cast members, like Styles Howard. Style by Howard. I think he's the son of Dior. I'm gonna get on Dior in a minute. Dior, is all your family fine? Is Dior and the kids? Because I think Styles by Howard said that he was Dior's son. I'm sorry. I'm still tripping off. I'm still wrapping up that whole lost scene. My mind still is back there in that. So I'm trying to reel it back in and, make it light and make it funny. But that was just weird. So yeah, I feel like King Kang, his review last week, that was weird. So we have cast members like Styles by Howard, who is a cast member or either B cast member. Did he get like a Marlo or a Tanya? Y'all know how they gave Marlo and Tanya the side screen. The sidebar. green screen. It's like, is that what Styles by Howard get? Again, we so focused on the shade and all the other stuff, we really don't get a backstory of who Styles by Howard is besides he's Dior's son. We heard him say that, and y'all flashed us some pictures of him on Instagram. We need to know more, because the entire time when y'all was out there at the Houston Splash, I didn't even notice that, or I'm probably wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong, that Styles by Howard was even in that scene. I just want us to work on those type of little things that makes us stand out and be great. I love my platform. I love Chasing Reality. I feel like it has an opportunity to be on an international network. I truly do believe that. But we just have to be smart with what we're doing and not be so focused on what the world already thinks we're going to put out anyway. And let's make sure that we focus on the minor details, because that separates the good from the bad. All right, I'm not going to turn into Pastor Harris on y'all, so I'm going to try to keep it real cute and keep on moving. But like I say, let us not focus so much on the shade that we miss a storyline, because we've been introduced to a character, Styles by Howard. We know nothing about him. He was in that little side blue screen. He looked amazing. And this is not for Styles by Howard. This is for production. He looked amazing. He was beautiful. I like his, little, whatever this little thing was, little burlesque corset. I don't know the names of whatever. He looked great. He looked sexy. He looked young. He looked vibrant. He gave me real Portia season 1 tease, like just a little bit. Like he looked like he can be a little bit rowdy. He, really skinny, nice little body. All that cute carrying on. So Styles by Howard, I'm here to offer and to see what you have to offer to the show. I just wish we had a little bit more time to see you on camera. Now, we're going to go on, move on along. I'm going to get up. Well, Reese, I ain't done with you yet. I got a few more minutes to get you together, and I'm going to give you props in a minute. Dior and Reese, what kind of meetup was this? Do y'all know each other? Or, Dior and Reese, like the entire time, like I just felt like they were taking like little shots and like little digs at each other. Like Reese would say something real cute, and then Dior would turn around like, well, I might know her. I think I know her. Like, I seen her around, but like it was given very much so like, like we had to do this. The rest of the cast members ain't show up, so it's just me and you sitting here looking stupid together. They just kept taking shots at each other, and that was just weird to me. Dior was there with his kids, so Oh, and there Rock is. I think Rock was sitting at the table too. When I start getting real good at these reviews, I'm gonna start editing. I'm gonna do a little flashback to the scene. But for right now, y'all gonna get this straight up talking, cause we ain't talking talk show kind of carrying on right now. All right, so we move to the Markel and Reese house situation. Markel has a new home. We meet up for, their little, not little, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. We meet up for Markel and Reese in their meetup and whatever. Now, is it me, or is Markel and Reese, are y'all really friends, or are y'all just like real nice and nasty, doing what we gotta do to either get through the show or to act like we like each other? Is it like some type of keep your enemies closer type judge, because y'all don't give me friends at all? It was real nice, nasty, and if I remember correctly, I know I gotta be right, because I think later on down in the scene, or I do remember in the trailer, Markel threw a chair. No, Reese threw some water on Markel, I think, and Markel threw a chair at Reese. So it looks like things are gonna get physical with those two. It just don't give me friend tease. It was just real like, ooh, she here. It was just real nice and nasty the whole time. It just looked like real like church mother, like like y'all know how like country people like that real like bougie uppity shade. I mean, we here for it, but as a viewer, y'all just don't look like friends to me. Y'all might be friends. That may be the way that y'all, do things. Even when Greasy. is not what I meant. I meant to say when Reese was on his green screen. So before y'all even try it, I was trying to say when Reese was on his green screen, but I was trying to say Reese in green screen because I got green screen in quotation bold letters, so both words merged together. So please don't try it, y'all. Woo, that's funny. So I was trying to say, even Reese on his green screen when he was just like, yeah, Markel got her nose ring like me or something. You know how when you just got like you play like that little nice, nasty shade with your friend, and it's just like, girl, why every time I talk to her, she got something to say, or it sound like she coming for me? Or is, you know how when you got friends, like you have to look at them sideways like, girl, was that shade? Like you have to ask your friend like, girl, is it me or do she be like slick trying me on the low? Like, is it just me before I slap the dog piss out of her? The North Carolina in me just came out. Y'all forget that. The North Carolina in me really just came out. So that's that whole situation. So again, so I think the whole situation with Rock and Markel, we hear a little T coming up. Look. This whole little Rock and Markel, we hearing some little, y'all done had some little fool-la-la going on down there in Dallas. Reese throwing some shade again. Is it me? You know, is Reese really like a good friend? Because he was at the beach with Rock. I think Markel came up. And now Reese is sitting down with Markel. And the whole Rock situation comes up. So Reese's throwing some shade like, ooh, Rock's a porn star, you know, he used to be a cop and he did this, and then Markel threw some shade, you know, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But it's just weird when you see people like in the middle, and I don't know if Reese's doing this. And Reese, I know you probably either gonna text, just put in the comments, don't call, because this is kind of like work stuff. But is it me or is it because Reese is an executive producer, he's in the middle and he has to talk to both parties and be like, you know, this is what's going on? Or do you guys think Reese be in the middle and be being messy? Like, ooh, Rock, Markel said you this, the way Markel did it in his green screen. You that, you this, you that, you this. And then you go over here to Rock and tell him, Rock, you know, or you know what I'm saying. Then you go over here to Markel and say, well, Markel, Rock said you said da 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 da. So we know Rock is a porn star / cop / this whole Rock situation is really working my nerves because I'm trying to keep up with it. So I just really hope that they play this whole storyline out and we see what's going on. Then we also trying to figure out, is Reese a real friend or do he be in the middle starting some mess? Y'all drop down in the comments. Y'all let me know. Reese, if you in the comments, you let me know what you was trying to do. The people want to hear. We want to know what's going on. And Reese, another thing that I want to while I'm on it, and I saw something that you did this week. I don't want you to, now I'm being serious now, you know, outside these notes in the show. I don't want you to, I don't know if this is something I should tell you in private or not. If you feel like this is going to help you out, or if you feel like I should have told you in private, then let me know. But I don't want you to let this show stuff and all of this stuff affect you mentally in real life. Because I feel like when this show goes off and, you know, when the fans and stuff get to see it, you get to getting on lives, and everybody do it, but I think yours is kind of to another level. You know, you get really emotional and you're really invested in that, and we love that you're passionate about the show. But me, from friend to friend, brother to brother, businessman to businessman, I want to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, because you jumping on Facebook Live and all of that stuff, no. Hit these girls in the pockets. You know what I'm saying? If these girls are saying, we don't know, you know what I'm saying, Reese don't do nothing but being everybody's business. If I was the executive producer and you have the ability to fire them or not fire them, I would be sitting back and letting them create their own beds, but ho, you will lie in it. You know what I'm saying? So you don't really, I'm not saying that you're not on their level. I'm just letting you know to remind yourself that you're the executive producer. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are some things I just would and would not do. So jumping on a live sometimes just kind of elevates your blood pressure, your sugar, all that kind of stuff. And we, in 2020, we have to be accountable for us and each other. But I would just I would just be like, girl, I see you. I didn't respond to you, but I see you. Because trust me, a lot of stuff that happens, and I'm a part of this franchise, a lot of stuff that happens, I'll keep it cute with you if you keep it cute with me. But all the going on live back and forth, let these girls know, child, I'm so busy, I don't even have time to get on live with her. Girl, I wish I would fuss with you. With what I do and what I got going on. People may call me cocky. You probably call me what you want to. But what I'm letting you know is sometimes you don't have to address everything, Reese. Oh, I feel like I'm going in on my friend. I just want better for you. Like, I want, sometimes people got to be reminded of who the hell they are. Baby, at the end of the day, I have the power and the privilege to allow you to stay here or be dismissed. Child, I be popping my collar so hard. There go Reese again in the comments, throwing shade at, what's his name? This guy Rock with this. I just feel like some of the comments were backhanded, Reese, towards Rock. When you was just like, like his sword and all that stuff. Like you was a friend. You would just say he's a well-respected cop and he's a he's a well-respected whatever else he do. He's a porn star. He's a cop. But that's what makes me question you as a friend or your loyalty or, I'm just saying someone who's a part of this. It's just kind of like, are these considered your real friends or not? Or are you just using Rock as a storyline to get Markel riled up? But then again, that's me questioning your loyalty as a friend again. So those are just my observations with that. I got one more thing to get you about, Reese, and then I'm going to let it go. I promise you I'm going to let it go. This is what I'm talking about when I say getting so invested. Here we go again with the whole bringing up Chasing Atlanta and bringing other castmates from other seasons and all that stuff. All of that stuff is so unnecessary, and I'm going to get to I got to say it how I feel it. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Yes, that may be your true life, or maybe that did happen to you, but keep it in a way that you just say, girl, I just heard this from the streets. I just heard a tea like this, because it keeps us so invested in the castmates that we already know and focus on y'all. Because when you start bringing people like Gardini into it, y'all bringing me into it. You got Oliver, Jay Twan. Like, now people got to do all this cross promotion to figure out what's going on. We on off time we on off time. Leave us alone. So now tonight, people got to be going to Gardini live, looking for stuff, going to your live. We know you're going to go live. We know Markel going to go live. Like, all of that is just kind of crazy to me. I just think it's a little bit tacky. I just think it's a little bit tacky that we just have, like, we gave y'all a pass for it last week. But to bring up Chasing Atlanta again is just kind of like, you don't see Housewives of Potomac shading Housewives of Atlanta. We're under the same umbrella. We are under the same umbrella, so we got 2 doses of it. Like, y'all should just bring Gardini on as a cast member and let him say his piece at this point. Hell, it look like all the Chasing Atlanta people, we going to be flying to the reunion in Dallas. Let's just work on, again, separating good from great, and let us not be so focused on the petty stuff that we miss in details. Because we focus on that kind of stuff, and we not talking about where the hell this character Rock came from. We're not talking about how Styles by Howard had a green screen, and we don't know nothing about him in the whole episode. I'm going to get off your neck, Reese. I'm going to let it go. I know they probably say Q talks too. God damn much. Lord. So Rock goes for president. No, that was the end of their scene. Was Rock, I guess he wants to be president or something they were talking about. We don't know what they were talking about. I got one more thing to say about that Gardini scene. I'm gonna let it go. When the hell do y'all find time to, like, be recording each other on the phone. And this is why I don't hang out with a lot of our cast members. Like, at one point in time, me, Oliver, and Lauren were hanging out almost every day. We were super tight. Oliver was like my brother. He was like, we were in the process of becoming, like, to me, best friends. So it was kind of like we had a lot of conversations off camera, and we had a lot of chemistry. Like, we shared a lot off camera. Like, his mom called me mom. Like, me and Oliver shared a lot. So that's like a brotherhood thing, like we were brothers. But for some of y'all actually be calling each other and stuff. Like, even with the whole Markel situation, I couldn't be like mad because I don't like personally know him. Like, I can shade back and we can keep it moving. But it's just kind of like, when the hell did y'all find time to be like recording Gardini on the phone? Like, y'all actually be recording each other on the phone? Like, that kind of stuff like that is weird to me, crazy. That's why sometimes it's hard to connect with some of the cast members, because you don't know when people being genuine. You don't know when people being shady. You don't know when a hoe trying to keep some screenshots on you. You don't know when a hoe trying to keep voice recordings on you. You don't know when a hoe trying to trap you up because they know you might lie, or they know you might do this just to have receipts on you. You got to watch out for these kind of hoes. I'm being dead serious. This is reality, but this is in real life too. Like, y'all have time to actually freaking be recording people? That's crazy to me. Girl, and y'all think that I would actually be having genuine conversation with people on the phones and stuff? Child, if you FaceTime me, you best believe I FaceTime you back about 2 hours later, because that way I know the camera going home and I'm not going to get you full line. No, I want your real emotions if you going to apologize, or if you going to do something or be shady and all that kind of carrying on. So I just kind of felt like that was weird, to even just how that whole scene was set up. It could be just me. Correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong, but me as a viewer looking in, it just didn't look good. You don't see Portia on the phone with Monique out in Housewives of Potomac and Housewives of Atlanta, and them two just came back from Mexico. We're not gonna see it. This clicking of the pen, y'all, is making me scream in the inside of my head, because that's funny, because I feel like I'm doing a lot right now. But it's some stuff that just kind of need to be said just about the whole brand in itself. And yeah, that's just that. Oh, I love chasing Atlanta. I love chasing reality as a whole. I'm not saying I don't like chasing Dallas. What I'm saying is there are sometimes a lot of confusion that the viewer sometimes don't get because of all the shade and all the carrying on. And we know that's needed for good TV, but let us not miss the details. All right, Pastor, moving on along. Q, you a little long-winded, my God. George and this scene with him and his best friend. So we get into George and his friend. I like Pastor George a little bit. I say a little bit. I have a little critique for you, George. I think you guys are still filming. I'm not sure. What I'm saying is, my advice to you is just going to be, that you just be mindful of how you come off. I think me as a Southern person, and I kind of understand you, but I just think the viewers may or may not understand you, because your delivery is a bit aggressive. But a person like myself, where, you know what I'm saying, I kind of know who I am, and like, no, I'm not saying nobody can't really tell me what to do, but I'm just saying, like, I know who I am in life, period. So I just, my first season, I came off, when I watched it back, I was like, ooh, I could see why people didn't like me. But it was me. I usually sometimes have to watch how you come off to the audience. I'm not telling you to be fake. I'm not telling you not to be yourself. However, to have that crossover TV appeal outside of chasing Atlanta, I'm talking from like real business and stuff like that, because I'm just letting you know, people do watch this show. I have been to some top places in Atlanta when I was staying in Atlanta, even out in LA. People watch this platform. So don't ever think like, oh, I'm gonna just come on here and act the ass and nobody's gonna know who I am, because I have been all the way in Cozumel, Mexico, and people were like coming up to me asking to take pictures and stuff like that. So just be careful, because a lot of people watch this platform. Again, not telling you not to be fake, not telling you not to be real and be who you are and say it how you want to say it. But what I am saying is just be mindful of how you are coming off, because I think I saw about a 40 to 60% of the comments, and I would say about 40 were the people who enjoyed you, but you had 60, is that right? Yeah, then you had 60% who were not feeling you. But a person like me, I understand you, but you do want to watch how you come off to your audience. All right, I'm done off giving you a lesson, because you probably like, Q, screw you. You don't tell me. Child, he give crown funerals, honey. He ain't studying nothing. My little two lines on the page ass is talking about. So they discussed King Kane. King Kane went on a nasty rant on his YouTube last week and talked about how everybody is coming for him and has something to say about him. And it sounds like a lot of people do have some things to say about King, but we're going to get down to that in just a minute. But make sure you guys are following King Kang. And I don't have no sides in none of this. I don't know any of them. I only know Reese. And he the person who I done ate up the most, but that's because I love him and have love for him, that I think that we can have that type of exchange. But again, what I was getting ready to say is to subscribe to King Kane's follow him on Instagram too, but subscribe to his YouTube, because he's up and coming like me. We're both, putting out reviews, and I just respect another person hustling and all that, carrying on. And I'm gonna get on King Kang in just a second, but they discussed King Kang again. Shout out to King Kang. So George, I have a question. Yeah. George, I have a question, because when you were talking to your friend, he said, tell the people what you do. He was just like, yeah, we all know what you do. Now, George, if I'm wrong or if I didn't see that scene correctly, then you let me know. But it looked like you said to tell the people what you do. My question to you is, George, aren't you the one who asked what he did? So I'm asking that because did you purposely stir the pot? Or did you genuinely just want to know what he did and you just said it wrong? Because I have been in scenes and I'd be like if you guys remember the scene where Oliver and I was in the gym and I was just like, oh, Oliver came to see me. And then I think in the green screen, I was like, what is Oliver doing here? But the fans, I'm letting y'all know some tea. You know what I'm saying? When we record that stuff, that be 3-4 months prior to, so we try to add that with what we do. Remember when it's time to do green screens and all that. So maybe he just got it mixed up. So George, you let us know. But I'm gonna reiterate, you said tell the people what you do. He was like, we all knew what he did. I think that's what you told your friend. He was like, we all knew what he did. But he was just like, but tell the people what you do. But George, I think you're the one who asked. Now you let me know. George's friend is a little cute. He's the one who, I think that's the same friend who showed up with them green shorts and a yellow shirt when they was going to the tattoo party. I think that's the same friend. If not, y'all let me know. George brings up this whole situation between him and Trey. Now, I don't know. It could be me. Y'all let me know. But it sounds like Trey and George have a little bit of a history. It sounds like they have history. And I say that because George was saying how he took him some cupcakes. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to go back to that in a second. This whole scene with George and his friend, didn't it start out a little weird? Like, I felt like the conversation was forced a little bit. It was just kind of like, hey, what's going on, friend? And then they cut to a green screen of George, explaining his friend, and it came back, and it was just like, hey, so are you dating? And it was like a little bit weird to watch. Do y'all really talk like that? But George, I'll give you a pass. It's your first season, but when the camera's around, if you just gonna jump in and jump to what you want to talk about so that the cameras can catch it, didn't do that. But I guess for me as a watcher, and I have been talent. I see both sides. This is your first season, so you may be a little nervous. So back to this whole situation, after what's his name? George started talking about he had tiff treats and all that kind of carrying on. Just again, I feel like that was another little part they could have shaved off and gave us more styles by Howard and everybody else, but because they won't talk about nothing. But they were talking. So then they saw this whole Trey, so we find out that George takes some sweets over to his house, and something he said took him some donuts or some cakes or something, and they used to stay in the same apartment complex. It sounds like to me they either done met on Jagged or they done Jagged. Oh. I don't know. I'm just being messy, y'all. But it do sound like from what we're seeing and everybody's mannerisms toward it, even the part that came up next, it looked like you guys have had some type of history. Now, y'all jump down in the comments to let me know, because George went on the screen and said we ain't never had no history and all this other kind of carrying on. But we all know George come down the line in the next scene. Don't sound like George be telling the truth all the time. It sound like, he be kind of leaving out some details. So then they start talking about the whole situation between Trey and George having some tension. But we think the tension is you guys either left off on a bad note, like y'all either had a breakup that went bad, or a one-night stand that went bad, a jack-off session that went bad. Something went left that we aren't seeing, because now that if we replay the video back from episode 1, we can see why there was so much tension at the nose ring party situation, because y'all done had an interaction before. So we want to know more about it, because at the end of the thing, George was just kind of like, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting ahead of myself now. So George just like, yeah, we ain't never did nothing. But it don't sound like it to me, George. It sound like y'all done had a whole lot of something going on. Speaking of people having something going on, the best friend sound like he has something going on with George too. George, how many inboxes and all this kind of carrying on is you gonna be in this season between you and Markel? Y'all like neck and neck in the most inboxes. What's really going on? And speaking of George and Markel, don't they have like a little weird, nice, nasty Phaedra Parks, Candy Burst kind of situation going on? It's just kind of like they be shading each other a little bit too. Like, is that y'all thing down there in Dallas? Like, to just kind of like walk around and naturally shade each other? Because we done seen Reese G and Markel shade each other. That was weird. And now we see George throwing a little bit of shade at Markel, because Markel invites him to, I guess, another game night that he's having. And George throws a little bit of shade and was like, maybe Markel will have his little books on display. That one kind of tickled me a little bit. I'm sorry. But it's just kind of like, okay, like, is y'all going to do that the whole season? Are y'all real genuine friends? Have y'all known each other? Like, what's really going on between George and Markel? Because I just kind of foresee that kind of getting a little messy or sticky down the line. Like, Phaedra and Candy did good for a lot of years. Now it's just kind of like them girls on it. Like, it's just kind of like, I don't want y'all to get to that point. So y'all need to be either gonna be friends or not. Like, all that little shady, nice, nasty stuff, like, just kill it. So at the end of that, George is sitting in his green screen. I'm giving y'all a lot tonight. George is sitting in his green screen, and he was like, well, that's that on that, after this whole situation with George's best friend and King Kane. I mean, not King Kane. The guy who we were just talking about, who was in the inbox. And now this whole situation with the best friend in the same inbox, and he was just like, well, that's that. And it's kind of like, no, we want to know more. Like, tell us more. We felt like y'all was leaving something out. Yeah, I just feel like George and Markel, their whole situation could just be a little bit dangerous. Like, I hope they remain friends or something, because if they ever fall out, it look like it's gonna be a nice, nasty read, and they both have that level of intensity. So I feel like Markel and George will be a good match off to each other with a read session if they ever fell out. I hope y'all don't, but if y'all do, we the people, we'd like to see it. All right, so we move on to this whole Imani Van Zap situation. Shout out to Eric. If you guys are in Atlanta, you always see Eric at different events, at different prides, and he's always in the community. Him and his husband are some great people to look up to. I feel like Chasing Reality, that was a good move with adding the Imani Van Zap character to the platform, because it kind of gives you like that logo special. Like, you know how logo kind of, could bring on like one of RuPaul's drag queens, and they're like overly done, and they're doing promo, and they'll give you a little cute, nice, nasty read, for the show. So I think that's a good insert. Chasing Reality, that was a good little playoff. I like that. It gives it real TV, real genuine, and it helps Eric's platform, because Eric's always doing some great things in the community. So it's good to kind of see it turn around and starting to work in his favor. He did some work with T.S. Madison, and now, so it's good to see that character expanding, because I think I can remember a time when he was just starting out with the character. And for a person like myself who's not familiar with that world, it's good for just anybody, not even just LGBT, to kind of be opened up to it. Because I saw some comments and they were just like, well, Imani Van Zap needs to do this and her makeup is to this. And that's probably coming from a heterosexual person. Even as a gay person, I probably wouldn't know if I didn't ever see it. I have seen it because I stay in Atlanta. But like I'm saying, it's just good to open people's minds up to it, because I saw some people checking some people in the comments and were just kind of like, that's a form of art. This is a form of, or another side of who we are. So we the people, we can appreciate that. And she kind of giving her little fashion tips. It's giving me real Bevy Smith on like Bravo. And if the people not going to put us on the international platform, so we might as well work our own damn people. So shout out to y'all for that. I appreciate that. Like, it's a good addition to what we're already creating. Let's get into the beautiful stallion herself, Miss Ariel. I think, I hope I pronounced that right, because the way I'm reading it on this paper is giving me Ariel O'Hara. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. I like Ariel O'Hara. I definitely think she's going to be misunderstood this season. Once we begin to see her character blossom, just because of her verbiage, I feel like that's why some people are going to be misunderstood behind it. But for a person like myself, she just seems very confident, and she seems like she know what the hell her lane is. She stays in her lane. She's going to give you a nice, nasty little read. She going to come in the room. She going to own it. She looks amazing. She's beautiful. Her coins add up, and the celebrities are in her clothes. So it's just kind of like, I'm here for that. Now, I want to break down her character for just a little bit. Ariel O'Hara. First of all, O'Hara, she did a little bit of shade at her beginning, so I'm guessing, I'm not, I'm kind of ignorant to everything, so it's no disrespect, but I think O'Hara is like a house, or one of the houses like we hear on like Pose and stuff like that, like the whole extravaganza world and all that stuff, and the Milans and the house of like all that stuff. That's another world I'm not too familiar with. So I think it was a great addition to add Ariel O'Hara to the cast, because that was one thing that Chase in Atlanta dropped the ball with, was seeing, the transition from one to the other. I don't want to say I'm wrong, so I'll just say from one to the other. So we had two trends on our show. Is that the right word? Y'all let me know if I'm using the right words. I don't mean to offend anybody. Or transition, trans. I'm sorry. I really don't know. But I just feel like Chasing Atlanta dropped the ball with that because we didn't get to dive into the girls' stories. So I'm glad that Ariel is letting us in because what's her name? I don't even remember her name. The one We Were Born. What's the girl's name? I don't remember her name. This is no shade. Berlin. Berlin was more reserved. Like she really didn't open up a lot, and it was kind of like she always had to share her scene with Jay Twan. Kendra was more so focused on the music that we didn't get to see like a lot of her personal story. We heard a lot of her background and we did hear some about Berlin's, but we didn't get to dive all the way in. So I think it'll be good for us to see Ariel's story because she seems like she's so confident in who she is that she'll let us in a little bit more. So I'm excited to see Ariel's storyline. Or not storyline, I hate when people say that. I'm excited to see, her play out to the remainder of the season. She did throw a little bit of shade. I don't know if that was for the fans or some people that she know back in her hometown, but she was just like, they say all the O'Hara girls look alike or something like that, and she was like, that's right. Beautiful. So I was just like, okay, girl, let the people know. I caught the shade. Like if you were talking to a regular person, they may not have caught the shade, but I caught the shade, girl. I like Ariel. She's real confident. She talks about how she doesn't fit in due to her transition. Now, that's interesting to see, and I always hear that. I always hear a lot of people who transition, they always say that they don't have a seat at the gays table because the gays, look down, or they don't have a seat at the lesbian table because the lesbians either look down or don't talk or whatever. So that's why sometimes we see a lot of people in transition are more so friends versus everybody being a community. I guess she was saying how sometimes she feels like, shunned upon, or she feels like, like an outcast. So I think I can kind of see that. I can't honestly say I've had a chance to witness that a lot because I honestly didn't have that many close friends in Atlanta like that. Like I said earlier, my closer friends were like Oliver and Lauren, and Lauren wasn't Lauren around me. She was always Jaylon, and she doesn't want to transition. So I never really had somebody where I could be in a comfortable place and ask the questions that I needed to answer without somebody getting offended. Because Lauren don't mind telling me. We talk about everything. So I'm excited to see her talk about that. She talks about how, she's well respected in her platform, so sometimes she can be misunderstood. I said that earlier. I think that because of her confidence and her verbiage and when she speaks, she's going to come off as misunderstood. Now, Ariel, I do have one little teeny weeny itsy bitsy teeny weeny not necessarily critique, is just something I want you to just make sure that I guess you kind of keep up. I feel like I'm getting everybody homework. Like, they probably like, Q, screw you. But she said something to her friend who came to visit her. She would like cheap things in my household. She was like, why you had them cheap things in my house? I think she asked for like, what did she ask for? A straw or, damn, was it a pen? It was, a comb. It was a comb that was in her bag or something. And she was like, why you got them cheap things in my house or something like that. So that was very, when you do and say things like that, because I seen Lauren go through it, just make sure that you're able to hold up that image of you being that it girl. And you not ever caught slipping, because it's going to be kind of like, well, didn't she say she ain't want to see that in her house, but she out doing this or she doing that or she acting this way. So I think when you put that image out, now me, a person like myself, I don't really care for it because I hang around a bunch of bougie girls. So I'm just saying that for the audience and to, for just branding reasons, you just want to make sure if you're going to be that girl that you hold up that image. However, I do see a very sweet side of you. I love what I'm seeing from you so far. I'm glad that we got to go a little bit further into your story, and I'm looking to see what you bring for the remainder of the season. We are almost to the end, y'all. I know I've been talking a lot, but I need a little bit of water to get into this. Oh, wait, we got 2 more scenes. Oh, my God, I've been talking a lot. Okay, hold on, y'all. But this next scene, first of all, King Kane and Trey, y'all held that scene down. King Kane and Trey goes down in the Chasing Reality scene book. That was one of the most well-produced, scenes. I hated the music under it, but that was a good scene. King Kane and Trey, that was a good scene. Y'all gave us tea. Y'all gave, oh my gosh, like y'all just gave us everything that we needed. We was here for it. Y'all feel like y'all, like it was like King Kane said, 10 minutes of fame chasing King Kane. Like King Kane came through with the reads. His video he put up on YouTube last week cleared some girls, and it was just like King Kane came through and owned this scene. He feel like y'all are targeting him as an it girl, but one thing I like about a bitch is if you gonna talk that noise about a person, or if I'm saying I'm this or I'm that, which King was saying he the HKIC and all of that, then you need to be that. Same thing I was just telling Ariel a second ago. But what I can say is so far, everything that King Kane says, he came and delivered. He came in the scene. He came looking great. Y'all was talking about safety pins and all that. He came in the scene. He looked great. His shoes were hot. He just delivered. His reads were on point. Like when you got tags like 10 minutes of King Kane, chasing King Kane, like all that kind of stuff like that. Like when he came in and gave Georgina and called Georgina, you know, when he was like, you know, she got a patch on her eye from social media. That's funny. That's funny. He is literally fighting these girls with his words. And I see why some of the girls are pressed. Because he coming in the scenes and clearing girls. And like I say, I don't even know Kane. I think I was on FaceTime with him and Oliver maybe once. So I'm not trying to ride the King Kane. As a viewer, I'm telling y'all what I see. The boy came through, delivered. It was just a good scene. Chasing Reality, that was a scene that goes down, a scene in the scene book. And y'all talking, he talking about, King Kane was talking about, I carried and I delivered the first season all on my back, da-da-da-da-da-da. It's looking like it. I didn't even watch Chasing Dallas the first season, no shade. There were a few moments I would tune in to kind of see what was going on, but I don't remember a lot. So I can't even say if he carried the first season or not. What I will say is the way he carried that scene, if he did all of that last year, he was clearing girls left and right. So we're going to go ahead and get into Kane and Trey. So they get into the past of how they knew each other, talking about how, you know, Kane used to work at, I think it was like, what's the sneaker store? Steve Madden. So they've kept that story the same. I like Trey and Kane in the same scene, y'all. It was just so good. It was just tea and fat. It was just good all over the place. Now, you know, whatever y'all think, what you want to think. It was a good scene to me. Trey says George rubbed him the wrong way. So, you know, this again, it's looking like it's going to be like a little 2 for 2. It looked like it's kind of like George and Markel versus Trey and what's his name? King Kane. Now that look like it's gonna be a showdown, read down, because y'all see, that Trey and King Kane read down for filth, and we finna go into it in just a minute. But them two in the scene together was, I ain't gonna lie, that was good. That was real iconic. But you got George and you got Markel over here. They got some real slick, sharp tongues too now. So I feel like that would be a good read off. I hope we get a scene where we get them four at one table, two on one side and two on the other side, and just see who come out and who can't breathe. Cause the way that these girls are reading down, King Kane reads down because he feel like these people are coming for him. So he is attacking people left and right. He even got on Georgina. He calls her Georgina. He got on Pastor George, Pastor Greenleaf, like even all that stuff. That's good TV. But he was talking about his clothes. He was talking about how they was too tight. He was calling him a church girl. He had on sandals. It was just good. It was good. It was good, y'all. It was so good. It was good. It was good. So then we found out that George be in the people DMs. George. You and Markel on the same team for real. You and Markel is on the same team for real. Y'all look like y'all in a whole lot of DMs, and y'all look like y'all two gonna be a little busy this season. So we here for it. But we found out that George is in people DMs. It sounds like George has, I guess, made some type of pass or something at King Kane. And Kane was saying how in his review last week that, he's seen George out in the club and he need to heal his eye and all this. So I'm guessing they've had some type of exchange. I don't know if it went down or not. And then we got Trey, and that was with Kane. Then we got Trey coming on. I like Trey. He's, big and bubbly, and he's very handsome. He's very handsome. And he looks nice, too. And the thing about it, he reads, too. So here's another person who comes into play with all of these receipts. That's what I'm saying. The scene was so good, y'all. Trey came with receipts. Who did he have receipts from? Was that George or was that Markel in his inbox? Oh, yeah. So back to this whole George and King Kane situation. George pretended that he didn't know King Kane last week, which piggyback off what I said earlier when, what I had said. But George, you've been in his inbox before. So, we got some questions. We have questions about that. And Trey is looking like George has been inside Trey's inbox. And, here go George again giving his top tees because he's talking about, look at, Trey go by with his big booty jiggling and all that carrying on. And, Trey, King Kane come in with a ring. And he was just like, oh, so she's a top. And so what's his name? Trey was like top of the food chain. And, I just feel like when a person overly compensates, sometimes we got questions, but that's just me. He might be a top. Hell, I ain't slept with him. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. We having a conversation. Don't shoot me, child. We just talking about what we see. But yeah, again, I am liking this whole Trey and King Kane situation. It's a good duo. It's like a good level of energy. They know each other from the past. So it was just like a messy boot scene. And I was here for it. We, the people, were here for it. Now, let's talk about Trey in this screenshot. Trey just cleared you a little bit. He cleared you a little bit, and I have to say that because it's just like he came in, and Trey can read too. Like, he was talking about George wearing a waist trainer. He was, even when they saw each other at the tattoo shop, it was kind of like, what's the energy you giving, girl? You already know what's the energy that you giving because you've been in my inbox. Then Trey came back with the waist trainer read. It was just all good. And then just to see the screenshot come up on the screen, it was just like, what is going on? It was just so much tea spilled at the table. We the people was trying to catch up. I literally paused my TV like 4 or 5 times just so I didn't miss anything. But they called George out, and George, this is just gonna be my thing. And what I was saying earlier when I was just like coming off a certain way or coming off a bad way, I say that because here it is, you saying one thing and we get a screenshot and watching you, seeing you do something else. So I just want to make sure that the level and intensity of what you're talking about and what you're putting out and the way that you throw shade and the way that you come at people is what you actually live up to. Because what we sometimes know is people sometimes tend to throw shade in an area that they actually struggling in. I ain't gonna get into too much of that, but that was just a whole situation. George in the DM, George, we need to hear about you in the DMs. So I'm gonna try to make this one real quick. So game night with Markel. This is a long video, y'all. I promise y'all I didn't mean for it to be this long, but it's juicy. So I hope you watch till the end. I'm going to try to do this scene real quick because I got to pee. Hosted by Markel. Reese showed up with like 50 people, so that was confusing to me. I know they were castmates, but y'all should have had some of them walk in one by one. You never see Chasing Atlanta show up with 5 cast members. You had Dior, you had Reese, you had Rock, you had Ariel. It was kind of like, why is was people mic'd up? Some people like they were just showing up to show up. I don't know. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that scene. There go Markel again, throwing some shade at this person Rock. So again, Reese, I have questions. Is this person Rock around just to get your friend Markel riled up because you show up with Rock that we don't know who this person is? So Markel shows up, not Markel shows up. They all show up. Markel is throwing some shade in his confessional, and he's just like, calling him dirty and calling him he was this when I met him, and here he go again doing this. Markel, here he go again. Markel talking to somebody. So Markel be talking to a lot of people, or y'all know, or is it just me? So hopefully we figure out where their storyline goes, or we figure out who the hell this person Rock is. Now Chasing Atlanta, here goes something else I gotta get on y'all head about. Here go Wooda Lee. Now you let me know if you feeling me or not, okay? But it was just weird to see a season 1 cast member. I feel like if you have been on a season prior to some other people, you're considered a vet. You're considered an OG. You consider somebody with privileges. Like you kind of like, I forgot what's the actual term that you say when somebody like, you kind of get some little off to set or something. But they just snuck Wooda Lee into the scene. Nobody said anything. Nobody addressed him. He looked like he just came from the gym. It wasn't there go Wooda Lee little script or anything that came at the bottom of the screen. Like we didn't get like no subtitles. That's what I'm looking for. We didn't get no subtitles. Y'all just kind of threw him in the scene. Y'all did not introduce him. We didn't get no flashback story. Or is Wooda Lee considered a B cast member? We got questions. We don't know what's going on. We do not know what is going on. We just want to know what's going on. Like, again, I say, Wooda like he just came in from the gym. So I just felt like it couldn't have been me as an old cast member. I would have probably said something. I'd have been like, I didn't like the way I was not necessarily portrayed, but I just feel like he should have had a better entrance being a season 1 cast member. Or just a little bit more respect, George and Kane, they start having their last conversation, so we getting down to the bottom of the whole episode of the night. So George and Kane, Kane lets it be known that, he's the head honcho. We've heard that from King Kane. This is another scene, and he said it last week in his review, and here we go again, saying that King Kane is the head honcho. So we get to talking, George and King Kane are going back and forth, and George says he didn't know the girls prior to the show, and that's just funny, George, because here go again. We saw you in, was it Trey's DM or was it, at this point, hell, I done forgot. Everybody done been in everybody's DMs. I think I done kind of forgot at this point. But we do come to find out that George wants an apology for King Kane. Now, do you guys feel like that King Kane took it out of proportion when George asked him? It was just like, hey, what does everybody do? Kind of carrying on. But like I said earlier, I was watching where, George was just kind of like, well, we want to know, but he was talking about, well, everybody didn't know. You know, it's just confusing. It sounds like some backpedaling a little bit. I'm not sure. But we do know George wants an apology, and Kane says he will not be getting an apology from him. Now, here go. This is another reason why I like Kane as well, y'all, because we don't just see Kane throwing shade in confessionals. We actually see Kane calling Georgina to his face, which is something that we can appreciate in reality TV, is because sometimes people like throw a lot of shade in their confessionals and things as such, but when it's time to own up to you actually saying something to a person's face, it's kind of like people got Twitter fingers. So that's another reason why we like King Kang, because he said, he said it to his face. He called him Georgina to his face, and Markel them thought that was a key. They was back there keying in the background. But so yeah, it kind of just leaves off with George talking about how he wants an apology from King Kane, and King Kane basically says that, he can jump in the grave if he think he's going to get an apology from him and hop in it and lay in it. I hate that my review got this long, but there was a few things that I had to address, and then I kind of tagged on from the stuff that happened last week and all that kind of carrying on. So next week's video will not be this long. I promise y'all. But I hope I was entertaining. Well, you guys, y'all see me in the next video with Chase and Dallas. I review a lot of shows. So, I'm starting to review more shows. So, let me say that before I just throw myself out there. Follow me on all my social media sites, and make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I want to hear what y'all got to say. Let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. It's your boy Q. Peace.